Hello, this is your host Anku Goel and you're watching Life's True Value, a unique series of conversations where we invite the corporate hotshots to explore the true value of experiences that luxury homes offer through their lenses. In today's competitive world, success is not just about financial performance anymore. It is about creating memorable experiences that build customer loyalty, keep employees engaged, and spark innovation. That is why return on experiences, or ROX, has become the yardstick for measuring the success of an investment. For forward-thinking corporate leaders, focusing on ROX is essential for making smart strategic decisions that truly resonate with their customers, employees, and other stakeholders. This episode is dedicated to exploring ROX from the unique perspective of a leader from the IT industry. Through this conversation, we'll uncover the intricate connections between ROX and luxurious residential properties and learn why the top corporate leaders pay a hefty premium to make luxurious residents like 25 South their abode. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our first woman guest on the show, and who better than to have the most respected and highly intelligent personality in the IT and data industry. And I'm talking about Ms. Seema Ambastha, the CEO of L&T-Cloudfiniti, with us today. Thank you so much, Seema, for sparing time for the show.
Thank you so much, Anku.
You know, it's such a pleasure to have you with us today. And I must say, you're such a courageous woman to have achieved the helm and, leading from the top in the industry, which is not so conventional. So unconventional, and staying there at the helm, leading it. How does it feel?
It feels good, and it's a great challenge in itself, but I enjoy it. Yeah.
I can feel the vibe where you feel very easy about your own space and the way you have lived.
I enjoy it, and that's why. So for me, at work, it's not yet another day. If you enjoy it, you just come there, right? And do it.
So with that, the thing that we are gonna really discuss about today is the ROX, when we say return on experience. I want to understand from you, how do you relate to this term return on experience? Does it resonate with your thought? What do you understand from this?
See, return on experience, I think everything to do in the service industry has a return, and experience does have a very large return, right? And for data center industry, it's very important, though it is B2B, it's not a B2C, but we measure return on experience as an as important, as important aspect as anything else, right? Whether it is service quality, delivery, customer experience, return on experience is very important to us. That's what probably defines retention of the customer. So we do across all aspects. It's customer, employee experience and satisfaction, it could be operational experience and satisfaction, and it's also the overall, overall experience that the customer has, which is measured from what we call it as an annuity business, right? Ours is an annuity business.
Yes.
So if it grows with the customer, it's a customer value, and that customer value comes from experience, and that comes from returns.
So you believe the fact that ROX today has become important for every industry, even data industry, as you said?
Data center, yes, that's right. I think anything where the customer is involved, it doesn't matter in what form or shape, whether it is B2C, C2C, G2C, or a B2B, everything, experience is important, right? Experience is what keeps the customer. You keep them or you lose them, right? It practically defines your relationship with the customer is measured on what experience they have every day. And for people who actually trust their assets with us, which is all of their assets, right? Data is about everything. It's the oil, it can be new gold, you can call it anything. So it's all the more important, right? They trust in every form, and your experience is something that, take this relationship forward, and they feel good to kind of stay with you for a much longer time. It does not happen if the experience gets, if there is a varied experience without consistency at all points in time. That doesn't really has this long-lasting relationship. They are very tactical. They are not very strategic. And to move to a strategic ground, ROX or experience in any form, whatever form you want to define it, is absolutely significant. Right?
Now that I know that ROX is really important, as you explained it to us, I want to understand your relation, understanding ROX with a living space as well. And to do that, I would like to walk around with you and explore a very nice, luxurious living space.
Wow.
And then find out how ROX is relevant to our work productivity and, of course, your business.
Sure.
So let's go and have a
Thank
round.
you.
So Seema, we are in the most beautiful part of the property now. This is the outdoor space. How are you comfortable with the outdoor space, or you're an indoor person? What is your pick in life?
I'm totally an outdoor person,
Really?
though my job keeps me indoor for whatever time. But if I get a time to step out, I'm a total outdoor person.
So it
I
calms
love
you down,
outdoor.
it keeps you more easy in the nature.
Yeah, I think the best of creativity, the thought, managing of stress, processing a lot of great ideas, everything comes outdoor. I'm very close to nature person, love outdoors, love sunshine. I'm not a very indoor person though.
I need to ask you this, sitting at the top of the, I don't want to say this again, but being a top leader in the industry, stress comes naturally. Do you believe that? And if so, how do you manage your stress?
See, in the leadership role, stress is something that everyone, I call it a very productive stress, first of all. And it's part of your life, right? It just comes with it, even without you realizing it. It's about how well you manage it. So let me give you a simple example, right? Making decisions, managing teams, managing conflicts, being in scrutiny, everything is about stress. For that matter, balancing life. And I think for women, there are more corridors, right?
Yes.
You can't get away from that. You love to really manage both the things and manage it as efficiently as you can. So stress is integral part of you, whatever you may want to call it, right? But how do I manage it? I do a lot of journaling, by the way. And I write and I record a lot of my thoughts, my stress or my conflicts or my ideas or whatever it is in journaling. So I'm a big time journaling guy.
Which is your area and your living space which resonates with you when you're back home or when you're working from home, which keeps you back.
You won't trust me. Though this is a very rain intensive, what do you call, city space. I still love my sun deck, so I have a lovely deck. It's a nice big space, and I've even converted on small. I have a little, makeshift table there, so I can sit and work, and I can just be out, and it's beautiful sunlight Sundays. In a weekend, I love my home. I mean, that's what keeps me very, very happy. It's my favorite place.
That keeps you happy. But Seema, how do you believe in your team, your organization, people? Where do they find their relaxation? What I mean to say is the correlation in the work productivity and the living spaces. You believe in that idea. It does increase the work productivity with your living space. And how do you manage that at work and at home?
Yeah, Anku, amenities are so much an essential part of our life today, I think, right?
Yes.
I will just talk from urban setup because I don't have too much of rural experience. I think in urban, we are so constrained by so many things, and the families are usually made up of a couple of generations, right, which needs are very different. It should be something like which can provide for everyone.
Yes.
A walking space, a viewing space, a good relaxing space, you can do some exercising space, and also like a playing space for the kids, right? That's very important to me.
So Seema, let me now talk more about your business, but the right place to talk about your business, of course, the business center. So let me take you to the business center around and we sit and discuss how you lead your business, give us some understanding and hacks to be a good leader. Let's go and explore.
Exciting, thank you.
So Seema, we are at the business center now and it definitely compels me to talk about your business. We were talking about ROX and you quite made us understand how it is important for every industry now. with your company specifically, do you guys measure it on a consistent basis, and what are the practical metrics and measures that you adopt to deliver it to the customers and the employees?
For us, everything is objective, nothing subjective. So whatever we mean is significant and important, we measure it.
Okay.
Your objectives have to be like employee objectives have to be measurable. Customer satisfaction has to be measurable. Then your delivery experience has to be measurable. Your overall service quality has to be measurable. Now these are the four. We also do one more. How do you really see return, right? Whatever you do, you have to measure it through a return. And that is your, what we call it as financial or a business metric. All the four of them correlate with each other. So we do like quarterly customer experience survey. You can call it survey, voice of customer, you can call it anything, right? It's very important. The other is we also look at tracking our response and our resolution times, which are very important for the customer and the feedbacks that you get online.
That is a delivery time.
That's a delivery metrics that we do. Then comes your financial metrics. Of course, we have to see the growth of each customer, look at how we are working with them and growing them. If they're growing them, we are not growing them, why we are not growing them. That gives you a lot of indicators on whether you're doing right or wrong. And also acquisition of new customers. See, at the end of the day, the business, you acquire new business only if the others can speak about you. It's a lot of the confidence that you get from customers who are already present is what kind of helps you grow your business faster. Every time it's about reference. You can't just sell your product yourself. Somebody has to be there to really vouch for it, right? So all these matter to us. So the customer dimension, employee dimension. On the employee dimension, we do two things. One is employee satisfaction as such, which is basically around 3 or 4 areas, right from compensation to work environment to their incentive comes under compensation, then your work environment, then you have like health and hygiene, which is like we do a lot of, we have our own, we have our own way of looking at health and hygiene, especially from the kind of things that we give give our employees. So they have their food and they have their own food space and they have their own gym spaces, or they have their own recreational spaces. So those are also some other things. And of course, the attrition is very important. Yes. Despite all of this, if there is an attrition, then it's definitely pointing something towards a satisfaction. So you need to really take a step back and take a look at what you need to do about it.
So multiple measures, metrics, everything is taken care of to bring out the correct ROX experience that can be delivered. Or
yes, that's right. For each one of our stakeholders, which is customer, employee, and also our stakeholders. That's right.
When I'm talking about the IT space, I definitely need to speak about technology. In the fast-paced technology growth world we are in, upgrading the way and the speed in which it is upgrading. We have artificial intelligence, which is the new buzzword. How are you finding it relevant and also difficult or easy to cope with the change in technology or the upgradation?
This is my favorite topic and most comfortable with. So AI actually transforms two things for us. One, it has an impact on our product. What we design as a product, huge impact. And secondly, it has an impact on our operationally. So let me explain the product side, right? We have been building data centers, we have been building digital infrastructures, largely keeping retail in mind or wholesale in mind, right? So that's a different product. Now suddenly when it comes to AI, the kind of hybrid cooling that you need is at a totally different, and also power, it's at a totally different scale. So now you're moving from, I'll use a technical term, it's called kW per rack, which is more moderate at 10, 12 at a retail or a wholesale, to a completely different dimension of say 50, 60, 70, 80 kVA per rack. That requires a whole new cooling. So it has actually impacted the industry. The amount of capex investments, I think, has been redefined. We redefined space. We are redefining our designs because the amount of footprint, the amount of form factor you need to host AI racks is smaller, but the power is enormously high. So we have not, industry is not used to it. Both of them are very proportional. Now they are disproportional. So we are trying to see how we can make these structures, make it meaningful for hosting those, right? So it's redefining our product strategy. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is operationally. Once you have AI, the customers not only test their own AI in your data center, they're also seeing how you are applying AI to make their life better. So operational AI is one which is called AI Ops. So you make a lot of processes or a lot of your operational processes more automated through an AI, predictive AI. Then you can use Gen AI, you can use cognitive AI. So there are many forms of AIs. Cognitive is not so relevant to us, but I'm saying Gen and predictive AI becomes extremely relevant to us, right? So simple interactions, you can convert them into an experience using a proper AI layer. And if that can be, fine-tuned, see, it personalizes the experience of the customer. So that's where AI plays a very important role.
Even in the ROX.
In the ROX. So you can give a general experience or you can give a personalized experience. It's not like an airline. I'm not saying that we are running an airline, right, to treat every customer unique. But I'm saying, for me too, there are different kinds of customers. There are like customers running mission critical, there are customers who are running non-mission critical, and there are ways in which you would like to really treat the customer only when you understand his business. And I think applying AI to a certain degree does help. So we are all, I won't say we are there, but we are all doing a lot of work.
But it adds a lot to your cost now to cope with the AI and adapt it in your system. The cost and the capex has increased is what is also a hurdle or a...
See, it's commensurated well. So initially, yes, any new technology or any new trend does bring a cost factor, right? Does bring a cross dimension. That doesn't mean you won't invest in it. You're investing for future. And there will be ROI over a period of time. You should understand, in data center industry, you don't see ROI next day. You will see ROI over a period of time. So you are now measuring only IRR. You're not measuring, you're just looking at what is your return on your investment. So the return on investment is not overnight. It has to be over a period of, it is a time period, right? It could be 5, 10, whatever. So if that is something that you're looking at a long horizon, it's extremely important for us to see what are those factors which can bring down your cost over a period of time and have a huge, the impact has to be very big. It should be a disruptive impact to your client. And that should be in form of a good experience change. So that's where, we would love to invest. Actually, that makes a huge difference in retention, growth, overall loyalty. Why not?
So Seema, how beautifully you've defined how everything is connected, well interconnected to the ROX. Ultimately, whether it's AI, whether it's the way you measure your business metrics and give services to your customer. I definitely want to know from you one thing. What are the lessons you think you would want other businesses to follow in for a step ahead to success? Is there a mantra that you want to leave everyone with, that this is the way to take businesses ahead to the success path, be it any industry?
See, 34 years I've been a customer-facing person. So there are lessons that I have learned and may or may not be, it might be useful in just knowing, right? Most important lesson is to understand the customer. See what happens. We always push our agenda to the customer. You should be consultative, but understand the customer. Understanding customers, understanding customers' customer. So that's a huge lesson. Secondly, it is important to personalize the experience. Okay, if you don't do it, doesn't matter in which business, right? It has to be personal. I'll give you an example. I have bankers, I have a personal banker. He comes to me, I don't think he knows what are my priorities. He can always push what he wants, and after some time you get frustrated. But I wish the time window we have is so small, they personalize what I need if they know my priorities. So that's exactly what it is for my customer, right? Take the right product. Third, it is important to empower your employees to do this. That's something I've learned. You can't do it yourself. As a leader, I can't say I'm very sensitive. I understand my customer. I know what is his priority. I know how to personalize, but someone else delivers it. So it's important to look at employees are absolutely empowered. The fourth is very consistent delivery of service. I do great service. It can't be a point in time. It has to be consistently good. I think that's the brand value of L&T too. If you see, they've been consistently delivering what they need to do. Last but not the least, you have to add value to a transaction. What we do is we stop at a transaction. But if you add value to a transaction, that's when you have this amazing relationship with your customer, right? They will never ever leave you.
Great lessons to learn, not just you. I think we have learned a lot from you today. Thank you so much, Seema, for sparing time today. apprising us about return on experience, your personal journey, how you manage your life and business. It is a clear pleasure to have you with us on the show. Thank you so much.
No, I want to thank you a lot for your time and for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Now it's time to pull the curtains down, but before we move on, I want to convey my gratitude to Ms. Seema Ambastha for taking out time for the show and sharing her wisdom, experience and insights with us, explaining the factors that define the ROX of luxury homes. This is Anku Goel signing off from 25 South, one of India's most luxurious living places, where every corner exudes opulence and elegance. Wishing you all a productive and a fulfilling journey ahead.